Get in here. Come on. Come on, get in here. It's Monday and we're back. And Facebook always adds a few second delay, so usually I'm just staring into the camera waiting for this statement that I've gone live. So get in here. Come on. Get in here. I had to shift some plans to be with you tonight because we need you. Get in here. Tonight we're talking about how do you deal with shadow relationships. And some of you might be wondering, what is a shadow relationship? We'll talk about it, but get in here, grab a drink. We got about a minute, 20 seconds till we're going to get started. I know what some of you are thinking. You're saying to yourself, Kyle, there's something different about you. You look like you might have had, I don't know, a new shirt, a new camera. Oh, it's your haircut. Thank you. I was hoping you'd compliment my new haircut. My wife did that for me in quarantine. Get in here. Come on, get a drink. We're going to take a drink together in about 40 seconds. And we're going to actually get more free than many of us have been ever in our lives. So tonight as we talk about letting go of shadow relationships, this is honestly going to fix some marriages. This is going to help some of you fall in love. This is going to help some of you live with a sense of freedom. Oh, somebody said happy haircut. Thank you. I feel great. I look great, at least for me. So anyways, get a drink. Get in here. We got 10 seconds. And then we're going to talk about how do you deal with shadow relationships. All right. With that being said, tonight I'm drinking water. And we're going to take a drink together in 3, 2, 1. Cheers. All right, let's get to work. Let's talk about your soul. So, according to a bunch of like teeny bopper magazines, but I think they probably have some hard data. The average person falls in love somewhere between 2 and 4 times by the time they're 19. And I've basically heard nobody inside of faith or outside of faith talk about what do we do with that? And what do we do with the relationships that seem to haunt us like a shadow? So again, whether you've been in a long-term relationship or not, all the data says most of us, the vast majority of us, have fallen in love with people, and it makes it incredibly hard to move on. So I want to talk about how do you do that? How do you actually get to a place where you have freedom in your soul? Because we all have had relationships either in our past or in our present that have too much power in our lives. So let me give you a few examples. The most easy example is, again, somebody that we were in love with. You could have been with them sexually or not. But often what happens, and I've dealt with a lot of people like this, is they can't seem to shake that person. So what I mean by that is this. I'll use an example. About 2 years ago, I met a woman, and she had a baby, and she was in a relationship, and she thought it was really committed. And then this person cheated on her. And we worked through forgiveness, but here was the interesting thing. She gave this person, blessed this person, had sort of put into practice all of the things that Jesus said we need to do to have a healthy soul, except she never seemed to get out of the shadow of this relationship. And so we had to actually go through a process similar to one we went to tonight for her to actually begin to move on. And it actually opened up a door and opportunity for her to begin actually pursuing other healthy relationships. Conversely, I've seen shadow relationships happen all the time with parents. And so what I mean by that is this. You can, with your parents, some people get to a place where you'd say they're like an approval addict. That if their mom or their dad or even a sibling who's very close to them is not happy with them, they can't live a normal life. It's like there's this shadow over them. Conversely, there are other people in our lives where we go, they have this ability to emotionally change how we feel in an instant. So some people will use the term enmeshed. And so it's like they have a strong pull on our soul. So you could be having a phenomenal day, and then say there's somebody that you have this attachment to, that you have a shadow relationship with them. And if they're not doing well, all of a sudden your world comes crashing down with them. It's just a sign that you have a shadow relationship. So what I want you to do right now is think about anyone whose approval you live for, anybody where you go, I don't know why, but their emotional life dictates mine. Anyone you've gone, I've fallen in love with them, but our lives have just gone in two separate directions. Or anyone you've had a sexual relationship with. Here's the big idea. The Father of your soul, God, the universe, some of you who are maybe outside of faith might call it, He wants every one of us to be fully whole, and then to connect with people out of a wholeness, and then to bond with them, but to keep ourself as a whole that we offer, most importantly to Him through Jesus, but that we can actually give to other people. And then when you're married, actually, it says that there's a bond where you actually become one with them. So this is the picture, but we need to be one in order to embrace the best of life, to live free. We need to be free from our shadow relationships. So how do you do this? That's a great question, because so many people, they have these relationships. So again, I'll list the four categories. People that you are... I'll just do it again, that you feel enmeshed with, that you have an emotional connection that determines how you feel. Number two, just people you fell in love with, but you've moved on. You're not like together in a long-term committed relationship. You're not married. Number three, anyone's approval you crave. And then number four, anyone you were sexually active with. This is a little taboo, but I'm going to mention it anyways because I care about your soul more than people's approval. These are the people that we end up having shadow relationships with. And so how do you get out of the shadow? A couple of things, because we want to actually give back to them anything that we've sort of taken with them. So sometimes we have these relationships with people and it seems like a part of them just has stuck around with us, or maybe they have a part of our heart or soul. People will use that language. So the first thing we're going to do, and I'll put it in red here. One, you want to list what you loved. So we're going to do this out loud. You're going to list what you loved about this person. Again, be it a parent or a dear friend that has too much power over you, or a former love, or people you've been sexually active with. You're going to list what you loved about them. Then, number two, we're going to give back. So out loud, we're going to say something like, God, I'm giving back to, and you fill in the blank. So you pick a name, and you say, I'm giving back to, I'll make one up, Claire. God, I give back to Claire all that I've taken from her. And then we're going to take back anything we might have left behind with them. And then number four, we're going to have a blessed goodbye. And what that means is we're going to go, and now God, I'm saying goodbye to this person, or I'm saying goodbye to the relationship I had. So again, if it's like a parent or a friend, you may not be able to actually say goodbye to them forever, but you want to say, I'm saying goodbye to the way this relationship once was. And you're going to do that by blessing them. So that's how we're going to do this. Again, this is so important because it's going to create a sense of wholeness for your soul. And that's what God wants for you. The Father of your soul, He wants you to have a whole soul so that you can offer it fully to Him and to others, and that nobody controls you. Number two is this: if you have fallen in love and haven't moved on, and you're not in a stage of marriage or anything like that, it's going to be hard to fall in love. You'll always be comparing the new relationship you have to the one that you've idealized in your mind, this shadow relationship. If you have a sexual past, often people just have lots of hurt memories, and Jesus wants to set you free. And if you're an approval addict, you will be living for the approval of this person. So we need to do that. So, are you ready to leave a shadow relationship behind? I hope you are. This is again, for some of you, you go, this will be a nice little exercise. For some of you, this will change your life. I've just seen, honestly, I've probably seen about a dozen people. Probably walked through with like 25 people this sort of activity. And for some of them, it's meaningful, but not life-changing. Like it's incremental. For other people, it's like a weight is lifted off their shoulders. So let's just go through it. What's one shadow relationship, one of these four that you need to leave behind? And then we're going to try. What's one relationship that's a shadow relationship that you need to redefine or say goodbye to? And now you're going to do it with me. So we're going to walk through the steps. So you're going to list what you loved about this person. So I'll use one. One of my first loves. I was like in grade 9. There was this woman. I won't use her name because we're still connected. But we were part of the same youth group. And I just loved, she was just like a fun woman. She was beautiful. She was great. She was caring. She made me feel warm and fuzzy. So you just list out all the things that they did for you. So just do it right now. Out loud is always better. You can do it on paper if you need to. You can do it on your phone if you need to, if you're in a place where you can't be private. So list what you loved. And then we're going to give it all back. So we're going to say something like this. And today, I choose to give back to this person all that I've been holding on to. Everything that's unhealthy. And you might go, God, even better, you might say, Jesus, please help me to do this. I give back to them anything I'm holding on to. And then number 3, you're going to go, I keep touching my face. It's because I still have some little hairs that have fallen from my haircut earlier today. So my nose is super itchy. So if it's distracting, know that I'm just as distracted as you are. Okay, so let's take back anything we've left with them. Often we've left a piece of our heart or a piece of our soul, people will say, or too much of our thoughts or time, or too much of our identity. Again, you can think and you can pray and go, God, is there anything I've left with this person I should take back? So you might say, I'm taking back my future. I'm taking back my identity. Just take back whatever you need to. So I'll model it for you. So, Jesus, I take back from this person any part of my hopes and future that I left with them. And then we're going to do the blessed goodbye. Oh, and somebody asked if I could pivot the board just a little. Thank you very much. Hopefully that's better. I think it is better. Thank you so much for your comments. It helps a ton. Number 4, we're going to do a blessed goodbye. So what we're going to do is we're going to think of this person and we're going to bless them again, which is sort of asking God to do in their life what you'd want him to do in yours. And then we're going to say goodbye to either the relationship or at the very least the unhealthy parts of it. So, I'll just model this, but you do it on your own. So Jesus, I just bless this woman. I thank you for the season in my life that we had together. Thank you for her friendship. And Lord, I just give back to her any of my hopes. And I take back all of that. And Lord, I just bless her and I'm saying goodbye to any hope I left with her for a future together. We weren't meant to be together. So I pray that she would have a great family life, great kids, and great success and a deep sense of meaning in her life. And Lord, I just pray for a healthy relationship with her from now on. So, again, there's 4 types of shadow relationships we can have. Enmeshment is where we're emotionally connected. 2 is just people we fell in love with, especially when we're young. We normally don't clean that up. It's hard to move past it. Number 3, people whose approval we crave. Number 4, people we've been sexually active with. Often we just find we get enmeshed. There's a shadow over us. To do this, you list what you loved about the person, and you give it all back to them. You take back anything you left with them, and then you say a blessed goodbye. With that being said, hope this helped. We'll see you tomorrow night at 8. Hope your soul is strong. Hope that your soul is free. And a couple of things. We're now on YouTube. All our previous videos have been uploaded there. And I just want you to know, some of you have shared these or commented, and other people have tuned in, and people are having their lives changed because of what you do. So thank you for all your help. Thanks for your likes. Thanks for your comments. Thanks for your shares. Help people. And you can do that now on YouTube as well. So with that being said, we'll see you tomorrow.